There is a paradox at the very center of the human experience. We are biologically wired for connection. We crave love, belonging, and intimacy more than almost anything else in life. Yet, the very thing that makes connection possible is the one thing we spend our entire lives trying to avoid: vulnerability. We live in a culture that equates vulnerability with weakness. We are taught to armor up, to hide our flaws, to project an image of effortless perfection, and to never let anyone see us sweat. But what if this relentless pursuit of emotional invincibility is actually the exact thing keeping us from the deep, meaningful connections we so desperately desire? What if the very armor we wear to protect ourselves is actually suffocating us? In her groundbreaking book Daring Greatly, researcher and storyteller Dr. Brené Brown shatters the myth that vulnerability is a weakness. Based on over a decade of research into shame, empathy, and human connection, Brown reveals a profound truth: vulnerability is not weakness. It is our most accurate measure of courage. It is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. It is the core of all meaningful human experiences. Today, we are going to dive deep into this transformative masterpiece. We will explore the heavy armor we wear to hide from the world, the destructive nature of shame, and the exact mindset required to step into the arena and live a wholehearted, courageous life. The title of the book comes from a famous speech by Theodore Roosevelt, often called the man in the arena, quote. Roosevelt said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, and at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat." To dare greatly means to step into the arena. It means showing up when you cannot control the outcome. It means having the courage to be imperfect, to be seen, and to risk failure or rejection. But stepping into the arena requires vulnerability. And vulnerability, Brown defines, is uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. It is the first text you send after a bad date. It is asking for a raise when you aren't sure you'll get it. It is saying "I love you" first. It is admitting you were wrong. Every single one of these moments requires us to drop our shield. And because it feels terrifying, we do everything in our power to avoid it. This brings us to the first major concept: the armor we wear. Because vulnerability feels so dangerous, we develop elaborate defense mechanisms to protect ourselves from emotional pain. Brown identifies several common types of armor that we use to navigate the world, and understanding them is the first step to taking them off. The first and most common armor is perfectionism. Perfectionism is not the same as striving for excellence. Excellence is self-focused and driven by a desire to grow. Perfectionism is other-focused. It is a 20-ton shield that we lug around, thinking it will protect us from judgment, criticism, and shame. We tell ourselves, if I look perfect, and do everything perfectly, I can avoid or minimize the painful feelings of shame and judgment. But perfectionism is a trap. It is paralyzing. It prevents us from trying new things, from taking risks, and from being authentic. Because if you are busy trying to be perfect, you are not busy being real. And people do not connect with perfection, they connect with authenticity. The second armor is numbing. We live in a culture of more. More food, more drugs, more alcohol, more money, more screen time, more distractions. We use these things to numb the difficult emotions we don't want to feel: grief, disappointment, fear, and shame. But here is the fatal flaw of numbing: you cannot selectively numb pain. When you numb the dark, you also numb the light. You cannot numb grief without also numbing joy. You cannot numb fear without also numbing courage. You cannot numb shame without also numbing love. When we numb ourselves, we become spiritually and emotionally deadened. We survive, but we do not truly live. The third armor is foreboding joy. This is the most counterintuitive armor of all. When things are going well, when you are deeply in love, when your child is finally sleeping through the night, when a major project is succeeding, a sudden wave of terror washes over you. You immediately think, what is going to go wrong? How do I protect myself from losing this? We try to beat vulnerability to the punch. We rehearse tragedy in our minds so that when it happens, it won't hurt as much. But this robs us of the present moment. Brown teaches that the antidote to foreboding joy is gratitude. When you feel the terror of joy creeping in, stop and actively practice gratitude. Say it out loud. I am so grateful for this moment. Gratitude anchors you in the present and allows you to experience joy without the paralyzing fear of losing it. Once we understand the armor we wear, we must confront the monster it is designed to fight: shame. Brown's research makes a critical distinction between shame and guilt. Guilt is the feeling that I did something bad. It is focused on behavior. Shame is the feeling that I am bad. It is focused on the self. Guilt is a healthy emotion that helps us course correct. Shame is a toxic, destructive emotion that convinces us we are fundamentally flawed and unworthy of love and belonging. Shame thrives in secrecy, silence, and judgment. The moment you speak your shame to someone who responds with empathy, shame loses its power. Brown calls this shame resilience. I am feeling really insecure right now, or I am feeling a lot of shame about this mistake. When you bring shame into the light, it cannot survive. This leads to one of the most profound insights in the book: the difference between fitting in and belonging. We often confuse the two, but they are actually opposites. Fitting in is assessing a situation and changing who you are to be accepted. It is chameleon-like. It is exhausting. And it leaves you feeling deeply lonely, because even if people accept the version of you that you are projecting, they do not know the real you. Belonging, on the other hand, is the state of being accepted for who you truly are. But here is the catch: you can only belong if you present your authentic, imperfect self. You cannot buy your way into belonging by pretending to be someone else. True belonging requires the courage to be vulnerable. It requires you to risk rejection. As Brown says, true belonging doesn't require you to change who you are, it requires you to be who you are. So, how do we move from a place of fear and armor to a place of wholeheartedness? How do we actually dare greatly in our daily lives? Brown outlines the practices of wholehearted people, those who have a strong sense of love and belonging and the courage to be vulnerable. First, they cultivate self-compassion. You cannot be kind to others if you are brutal to yourself. Wholehearted people speak to themselves with the same kindness and understanding they would offer a good friend. They recognize that imperfection is not inadequacy, it is the shared human condition. Second, they set boundaries. This might seem counterintuitive, but vulnerability requires strong boundaries. You cannot be vulnerable with everyone. You must protect your heart by sharing your story only with people who have earned the right to hear it. Setting clear boundaries actually creates the safety required for deep vulnerability. Third, they let go of who they think they are supposed to be, and embrace who they actually are. This is the ultimate act of courage. It means releasing the need for approval, the need to be liked by everyone, and the need to be perfect. It means accepting your quirks, your flaws, and your messy history, and realizing that they are exactly what make you unique and lovable. Finally, Brown applies these principles to leadership and parenting. In the workplace, she argues that you cannot be a courageous leader without being vulnerable. The old model of leadership was the know-it-all, the stoic, unemotional boss who never showed weakness. The new model of leadership is the learn-it-all. Courageous leaders say, "I don't know." They say, "I was wrong." They ask for help. They create a culture where it is safe to fail, because they know that innovation only happens when people are willing to take risks. Brown famously states, "Clear is kind. Unclear is unkind." Avoiding a difficult conversation to spare someone's feelings is not kind, it is cowardly. True kindness is having the courage to be clear, direct, and honest, even when it is uncomfortable. In parenting, the goal is not to raise perfect, problem-free children. The goal is to raise wholehearted children. This means modeling vulnerability. It means letting your children see you make mistakes and apologize. It means focusing on effort rather than outcome. It means teaching them that their worth is not tied to their achievements, their grades, or their popularity. It means creating a home where they know, without a shadow of a doubt, that they are loved for exactly who they are. As we conclude this deep exploration of daring greatly, it is vital to understand that vulnerability is not a one-time achievement. It is a daily practice. You will not wake up tomorrow completely free of shame, perfectionism, or the desire to armor up. The armor is comfortable. The arena is terrifying. But every day, you have a choice. You can choose to stay in the stands, criticizing those who are trying, protecting yourself from the pain of failure but also denying yourself the joy of connection. Or, you can choose to step into the arena. You can choose to send the text. You can choose to apologize. You can choose to start the business. You can choose to say "I love you." You can choose to be seen. Brené Brown's research proves that a life without vulnerability is a life without meaning. The pain of vulnerability is the price of admission for a life of joy, love, and belonging. The armor we wear to protect ourselves ultimately becomes the prison that isolates us. It is time to put down the shield. It is time to stop trying to be perfect, and start trying to be real. Thank you for joining this journey into the heart of human connection. If this message resonates with you, if it gives you the courage to drop your armor and step into the arena, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, you are enough. You have always been enough. Go forth, dare greatly, and build a life of true, wholehearted courage. If you enjoyed this book, please let me know in the comments. I'd also love to hear what book you'd like me to summarize next or what type of books you're interested in. Your suggestions help shape this channel, and I'll do my best to bring you the content you want. Thank you for subscribing to Raw Books. Your support means a lot.